What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett.
I'm Lance.
This is Rants or Us. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. Leave it below. Uh, all right, so Lance, what do you think will do better in the box office? Godzilla vs Kong or the new Mortal Kombat movie?
I personally would say the new Mortal Kombat movie.
Ooh, see, that's where I kind of disagree a little bit. See, I
I
know
know.
you and I are different on this one. I watched, look, yesterday I watched Godzilla vs Kong. I actually thought it was a great movie just in itself, which really shocked me. And I'm not a big MonsterVerse type person, but I will say I do believe that the same kind of people are going to want to see both of these kinds of movies because they're usually popcorn flicks, and so they're going. People will turn their brains off with a lot of these. Both of them's got big fan bases. So yeah, I think it's going to be kind of up there, but I will go with Godzilla vs Kong over Mortal Kombat, simply because I felt like the '90s movies maybe kind of lessened people's expectations on it, even though the trailer was awesome.
Well, I think the '90s movies, like you said, is lessened expectations for both, though.
Yes.
I mean, the Godzilla movies that we saw when we were kids, those sucked.
Yeah, but the newer ones have been like okay. I mean, they're not
I haven't liked any,
great.
but
I like Skull Island, with King Kong. It had Tom Hiddleston in it.
see, I didn't even like the newer King Kong movies. Like, no,
You didn't?
no.
See, I liked that movie. I thought that movie was good. I thought it was well acted. I'm not gonna say it was one of my favorite movies of all times, but I thought Samuel L. Jackson played a really good villain in it. Like
And I do actually think that expectations for these movies are higher than what you think
oh, definitely.
because people are like, everybody's like, oh, these movies sucked when they were made,
Hmm.
but everybody also is like, well, we didn't have the technology we have now then,
Yeah.
so they probably expect a lot more than what people think they expect out of these movies.
See, you're more of a Mortal Kombat fan than what I am. I played the video games when I was a kid, but I won't say that I'm like a huge fan. I've seen the movies. I even watched the short-lived series back in the day. But but I mean, I won't say that I'm like a huge fan of it. So when I saw the trailer of it, I was amazed by it, but then at the same time I'm like, I don't know if it like shifted me to being like overly enthusiastic to see it, even though it did look pretty amazing.
Oh, it did me. Like, as soon as I seen the trailer, I'm like, I gotta see this right now. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I could see it right now.
See, that's great.
And
That's great because that's like so that shows like you're a Mortal Kombat fan. It shows that there's going to be huge interest among that group of fans at
yeah,
least to get out there and see the movie. And
but and
so
like I
it
said,
could drive box office.
I wasn't a big fan of the Godzilla King Kong type stuff anyway. So I feel like when I saw the trailer for that, I'm like, this is retarded.
I
Like,
thought it was going to be incredibly stupid. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was going to be so stupid that it was going to be hard to watch. But when I watched it, I was amazed at how fun it was. Like,
I
I
don't think
mean,
I'm gonna go and watch it just because you're saying all this,
yeah,
but
I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
think I'm gonna feel the way
you
you
might
feel.
literally hate it, but I will say this. I mean, I was entertained from beginning to end. I They had like two main storylines that diverged in these different ways. One was with humans and one was with Kong, and it was I thought interesting. Yeah, it had its dumb moments. I mean, you do have to turn your brain off to a certain level with it, But I mean, that's what you're gonna have with any of these movies that we're just talking about. I mean, where you have even in Mortal Kombat, you have these people coming together to fight in a match for world domination or some junk like that. Like, I mean, there is levels of where these kind of movies are kind of about the exact same in that way, where the person that's going into something looking for something that's more serious aren't going to probably like these kind of movies. I wouldn't assume. Disagree?
I don't know. I get a lot more excited about a tournament that depends on the fate of the world than let's bring Kong over here because Godzilla will show up because they're mortal enemies.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, I mean, there's some things in it that's like, I'm like, both sounds pretty silly to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I get
pretty
that to
silly.
an extent, but I guarantee you Mortal Kombat's got a lot more action than King Kong versus Godzilla.
Ooh, we'll have to see on
I
that
guarantee
one.
it.
I would almost bet you probably not. I would believe.
I watched the trailer. Okay, here's my thing. I watched the trailer from and was stoked. I seen the trailer for Godzilla, and I was like, "Why did they waste money doing this?" I didn't from the.
There's no doubt. I was more excited about seeing the Mortal Kombat trailer than what I was seeing Godzilla vs Kong trailer. No doubt. No doubt. I was more excited. I thought the Mortal Kombat trailer was a million times better. No doubt. No doubt about that. It was cool. Like, you know, when Jax gets his arms froze off by Sub-Zero, that was an awesome moment. That's probably, I would say, it's probably one of the better trailers that I've seen this year, at least. So I mean, yeah, I see the excitement to it. I definitely see excitement to it. But at the same time, I'm like,
But as far as box office goes, I don't know how. It's hard to
even, but you give Mortal Kombat like a
well.
Or
I kind of feel like it's hard
box
to.
office subscriptions. Now we've got to think about all those different levels.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when you're talking like that, I'm like, who's going? I'm not going. It looks.
Who do what?
I said, if you're talking about actually going to the theater to see it, I'm like, who's doing this? Because I'm not going to go to the theater to watch anything.
I'm not going to.
I don't care how good it looks. I'm not going.
I'm not going to the theater to watch either of these movies. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm probably not going to go to the theater to see anything. I think those days are well
for me are gone.
I'm not
for me
going
are gone.
to
Especially like, okay, I am not going and paying probably like $50 for me and my wife to go see something that I know is going to be on HBO Max that night.
That you know, well,
or the next day.
Not just that. It's like, I feel like I would pay money to see both of these movies on like HBO Max simply because it's not a full investment, like you said, where you're having to spend $60 to go out there and, you know, go out there for popcorn and sit in those uncomfortable seats, and for a movie you might or might not like. Like, I'm just not putting that amount of money into it.
Now, I'll be honest with you.
What you mean about that?
I will be honest though. If it was up to us, and I had I had to see these movies still. To see Mortal Kombat.
You'd rather see Mortal Kombat?
I would rather pay to see Mortal Kombat than
Yeah, I mean, and there's no doubt there's going to be
to see that.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be there's definitely going to be probably more interest from like even gamers when it comes to Mortal Kombat. But I do believe that if you want a fun popcorn film, I know I will say this. I did enjoy Godzilla vs. Kong. I think I'm going to enjoy Mortal Kombat just as much. But, you know, we'll just have to see. But overall, I would give the edge a little bit more to Godzilla vs. Kong. Don't know why. Don't have really any good reasons. I'm just saying just from even when I looked at these two movies together, I'm like, I probably, like I said, I wouldn't spend money to go to the theaters to see either one of them based off of trailers, but I would for like HBO Max. I would definitely check out both. But I would probably check out Godzilla vs Kong more simply because it just got giant monsters rampaging through cities, and that's just awesome.
Well, I feel like that appeals to you a little bit more than
I'm a Power Rangers fan. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that appeals to you more than Mortal Kombat. Whereas for me, Mortal Kombat definitely appeals to me better than that.
I think both. Look, I think Godzilla. I
would not pay money to see that movie. I would pay to see Mortal Kombat, and that's just kind of how I'm breaking it down for me personally. I would pay to see Mortal Kombat. I would not pay to see this. So therefore, for me, I want to give the edge to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. All right. So we'll agree to disagree on this one. I actually think, you know what? I watched Godzilla vs Kong. I thought it was a great movie. I really did. I also think Mortal Kombat is going to be a great movie too. So I don't think we're going to be disappointed.
I'll tell you what we're going to do. I'm going to go and watch that Godzilla King Kong crap. When Mortal Kombat comes out, we're both going to watch that, and we're going to do a video to see who was right and who was wrong about what was a better show.
I like that idea. I'll tell you. Godzilla vs Kong was fun. I really did think it was fun. And I was surprised by it. I'm not a huge Godzilla vs Kong. I'm not.
And if I watch these movies, if I watch both these movies and I end up liking Godzilla vs Kong better, I will admit this and I'll own it.
Same here.
But I don't think it's going to happen.
Same here. And I wouldn't be shocked. You know what? To be honest with you, I wouldn't be shocked if Mortal Kombat is the better movie. I wouldn't be at all. But you know, I'm holding.
Yeah, I would be shocked if Godzilla and King Kong were the better movie. I would be utterly shocked.
You'd be utterly shocked. Go check it out, Let's. I'm sure you're going to be shocked at probably. At least it'll be better in the popcorn flick for you. At least I will go so far to say that. But anyways, guys, let us know what y'all think down in the comment section down below. Which do y'all think will be the better, I guess you could say, box office and subscription hit? Will it be Mortal Kombat or Godzilla vs. Kong?
You can just tell us which movie you think will be better, period.
Which are you more interested in seeing?
Yeah.
How about that, guys? But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. Y'all